Imagine floating high above our blue planet, surrounded by an endless expanse of darkness, where every flash of light or unexpected shimmer could be a clue to mysteries beyond our understanding. Astronauts have experienced moments in space that defy everyday logic, phenomena that seem so strange even they sometimes hesitate to discuss them fully. Today we're exploring curious discoveries witnessed by those who dare to venture beyond Earth's atmosphere. These aren't wild sci-fi tales, they are based on real, documented experiences and scientific observations. So strap in as we delve into truly fascinating events that have left astronauts both awestruck and puzzled. One of the most frequently reported and documented phenomena is the occurrence of mysterious light flashes in the darkness of space. When astronauts are in orbit, they sometimes see bright streaks or sudden bursts of light, even when their eyes are closed. These aren't stray beams from a malfunctioning light source, they are caused by high-energy cosmic rays hitting the retina. In the Apollo missions, astronauts described these light flashes with wonder, noting that they would appear like quick, darting flares across their vision. Scientists later confirmed that these flashes result from charged particles, mostly protons and heavier nuclei, colliding with the visual system, producing a sensation similar to seeing stars streak across a night sky. While researchers understand the physics behind it, the personal and almost eerie experience of seeing unexplained light in the silent void is something that still fascinates and unsettles those who have experienced it firsthand. Another curious discovery comes from the unexpected electrical phenomena observed on spacecraft exteriors. Astronauts aboard the ISS and other missions have occasionally witnessed glowing arcs and erratic flashes along the hull. These aren't alien signals, they're a result of plasma discharges. In the harsh environment of space, a spacecraft's surface can accumulate static electricity when exposed to the charged particles of space plasma. This buildup sometimes discharges suddenly, creating a brief but brilliant glow that can be seen from inside. NASA has documented such arcing events, which may appear as brief, lightning-like flashes against the dark backdrop of space. Although engineers designed spacecraft to withstand these discharges, the phenomenon remains a vivid reminder that even our high-tech vessels interact in unexpected ways with their extraterrestrial environment. Imagine looking out of a spacecraft window and catching a glimpse of a shadow, or a phantom-like image that seems to float just where it shouldn't. Several astronauts have reported seeing what appears to be a ghost image or an extra reflection, a phenomenon that at first seems downright eerie. However, much of this can be attributed to the complex optics at play. The multi-layered glass of spacecraft windows combined with the internal lighting and reflections from equipment can create optical illusions. These ghost images are similar to lens flares that occur in photography under certain lighting conditions. While they may initially spark theories about mysterious presences, scientists and engineers explain them as mundane, though fascinating, artifacts of spacecraft's design. Still, the fleeting nature of these images leaves an indelible mark on the memories of those who witnessed them. It sounds like a scene from a paranormal thriller, an astronaut's shadow that suddenly seems to flicker, vanish, or shift in unexpected ways. In space, however, light behaves a little bit differently. When a spacecraft or space suit is illuminated by intense sunlight on one side while the other remains in utter darkness, the resulting interplay of light and shadow can produce illusions. Astronauts have noted that their shadows can seem to disappear when the geometry of light changes quickly, or when reflections from nearby surfaces alter the appearance of the shadow. These optical quirks are intensified by the lack of atmospheric diffusion, a phenomenon we take for granted on Earth. So while it might seem like something unexplainable is at play, it's really the straightforward physics of light in a vacuum mixing with engineered surfaces. Even so, it's a reminder of just how alien our everyday perceptions can become when you're far from home. There is something almost poetic about the way Earth appears from orbit. a vibrant blue ball bordered by a delicate luminous glow. This faint light, known as air glow, is caused by chemical reactions in the upper atmosphere. When sunlight interacts with atoms and molecules high above Earth, it creates a subtle luminescence that can be seen as a soft halo encircling the planet's limb. While air glow might seem like an ethereal, otherworldly phenomenon, it is a well-documented natural process. Yet for astronauts used to the stark contrast of space, this gentle glow can evoke a sense of mystery and even melancholy. It's one of those rare sightings that bridges the gap between the familiar and the fantastical, proving that even the most ordinary processes can look extraordinary from the right perspective. Every so often, astronauts report catching sight of an object that doesn't immediately register on their radar of expectations. These unidentified objects aren't necessarily extraterrestrial craft. More often, they turn out to be fragments of space debris, defunct satellites, or even spare parts that have broken loose during a mission. The vast majority of these sightings are quickly identified through tracking systems, but the initial glimpse of something unknown, drifting silently against the cosmic backdrop, can be both startling and extremely thrilling. For many spacefarers, the experience is a potent reminder of how crowded Earth's orbital environment really is. While space agencies continuously monitor and catalog these objects to avoid collisions, the occasional unplanned encounter with an unidentified item keeps the mystery alive. It is a perfect example of how even in a realm as scientifically managed as space, the unexpected can definitely still happen. In space, silence isn't always golden. It can sometimes be downright unnerving. Astronauts have noted brief moments when their radio communications inexplicably drop out. While space is indeed a vacuum where sound can't travel, these communication dropouts aren't caused by an alien void swallowing sound. They're usually the result of technical hiccups or the unique interplay of orbital mechanics. As a spacecraft orbits Earth, the relative positions of ground stations, relay satellites, and the craft itself can occasionally conspire to create brief gaps in signal transmission. These radio silences have sparked plenty of curiosity and speculation among crew members. Even though engineers can often trace these dropouts back to predictable factors like antenna orientation or temporary interference, the sensation of being suddenly cut off from contact with mission control remains one of the more surreal aspects of life in orbit. Houston, we definitely have a problem. While floating in the void, astronauts rely heavily on the myriad sensors embedded in their spacesuits and spacecraft to monitor everything from temperature to pressure. Yet there have been instances where these instruments register anomalies, a sudden spike in temperature, an unexpected pressure fluctuation, or even odd electromagnetic readings. At first glance, such readings can seem to defy explanation. However, many of these irregularities have been traced back to the complex interactions between a spacecraft and its surrounding environment. For example, as the station passes through varying regions of the Earth's magnetosphere, sensor readings can momentarily reflect conditions that are far from the norm. Although each anomaly is eventually explained by a combination of environmental factors and instrument calibration quirks, the initial uncertainty leaves astronauts with a lingering sense of what if? It is a humbling reminder that even with our best technology, space still holds surprises that challenge our understanding. Space is famously silent, but if you're inside a spacecraft, that silence isn't absolute. Some astronauts have described experiencing subtle vibrations or even faint echoes inside their suits and cabins. These aren't mysterious cosmic sounds floating in the vacuum, rather, they're vibrations transmitted through the structure of the spacecraft itself. Mechanical systems, life support machinery, and even the gentle hum of the station's electronics can set off low-level vibrations. In some cases, these vibrations are so subtle that they're almost imperceptible until you're acutely aware of them. The sensation can be oddly comforting or disconcerting, depending on the moment. For the astronaut used to Earth's constant background noise, these vibrations are a reminder that even in the deep silence of space, there is always a subtle heartbeat of technology and human ingenuity keeping everything in sync. Finally, some astronauts have recounted spotting a bright, anomalous spot that doesn't seem to match any known star, satellite, or reflection. These uncharted bright spots are perhaps the most mysterious of all observations. Often, the initial reaction is one of wonder and the urge to attribute the sighting to something inexplicable. However, further analysis usually reveals that many of these bright spots are optical illusions, resulting from the interplay of sunlight on spacecraft surfaces, lens flare from the window assembly, or even transient reflections from nearby equipment. In a few cases, though, these brief flashes have prompted scientists to re-examine the local environment around the spacecraft, ensuring that no small fragment of space debris was overlooked. While the mystery of the uncharted bright spot is often resolved by a bit of physics and a lot of detective work, it still serves as a powerful reminder that space is full of surprises waiting to be decoded. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye!